I'm here. I'm here. How is everybody today on this day after Easter? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the madness. God bless you. Good to have you with us today. Can you hear me? Make sure everybody can hear me. I'm glad you were here. Yesterday was gorgeous. Absolutely a gorgeous Easter. It was very, very nice. I hope you had a great one. We had a great time at church, and then had family, had ham and some. It was good. It was very, very good. Had a very enjoyable day. I'm glad you're here today on this Monday after Easter, and welcome to the program. All right, perfect. Hey, the Milton City Council meets tonight at 5:30. They're going to appoint the vacant city council seats, so that'll be interesting. The deadline is today for city council vacancy applications. So they're having a discussion about those things tonight. That ought to be very interesting. Tune in. That ought to be interesting. All right, very good. Thank you, Rodney. All right, that ought to be an interesting time tonight. Check that out. They'll be streaming that live. You can go, but you can watch it on the stream. Your forecast for today, plentiful sunshine. Oh, by the way, my name is Nick Stewart. How you doing? Nice to meet you. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting. All right, your forecast, plentiful sunshine, high near 78 today. Tonight, clear skies, low near 52. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high of 79. Beautiful. It is 46 in Milton. It's 58 in Gulf Breeze. It's 49 in Navarre and 50. All right. That does that. Let's get started. So who's going? Are you going to go to the meeting tonight? Or are you going to watch it online? Or are you just not going to? I think that you will miss interesting stuff if you don't tune in. It ought to be very interesting. Sorry if I have some repeating on me, because I'm taking some medicine and it does that to me. I apologize ahead of time. Good morning, Corey. How are you? Did you have a good Easter? All right, let's get started. Kim says the mayor's having former city council member George Jordan on the agenda as an invited speaker. It gives him unlimited time to speak. Now, citizens get 3 minutes? He has forfeited that right, I think. Why would he get unlimited time to speak? Why would he be what's he going to do? Is he just going to throw firebombs? Is it just going to be a long rant? No. It's aggravating that stuff like that is allowed, and the mayor should not allow that. Not an invited speaker. George Jordan should not be an invited speaker. You quit, no notice, you just quit. Fine, you're done. You said your piece in the newspaper. Go away. No. He should not speak. Citizens get 3 minutes. I'm sure it is difficult. I think Cassandra had tried to do that, and the mayor bumped her down to a 3-minute deal. So, yep, I don't agree with that at all. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting tonight, and we'll see how. I am so thankful this stuff gets videoed. Anyway, 850-771-0049. The mayor likes to punish everyone. It's her joy in life. I don't get that mindset. I don't understand people like that. And why do you? I don't understand the desire to stir crap up all the time. I just don't get that desire. Speak your mind, yes. If you want to speak your mind, speak your mind. But don't continually be a drag on people. And stuff like this hurts the city. I'm just going to say that right now. And I get along well with the mayor. We have great conversations. Doesn't mean I agree with everything she does. And I just feel that things like this are not beneficial for the city. Part of a narcissistic personality. Or you can just get your own Facebook live show. All right, enough of that. There's a rabies alert for the Pace community. The Florida Department of Health and Santa Rosa has issued a rabies alert for the Pace area. And so watch your pets. You don't want rabies. You don't want your pets getting rabies. They look like that. The alert sent a response to a report of a positive test result for rabies in a raccoon on April 2nd. It'll be a rabies alert be in effect for the next 60 days. So watch your pets. She is rabid. The mayor ran on spite. I don't feel love for community. Well, I mean, she won, right? So it is what it is. The battle against 5G continues in Pensacola, but this time residents might have a chance at getting a 5G pole removed from a historic downtown neighborhood. The 5G rollout started in 2019. Since then, many residents have been upset over the locations chosen for the poles. 5G pole on 19th Avenue between Gadsden and Jackson Streets is one of 75 approved poles in Pensacola under city permits. But since its approval nearly 2 years ago, residents in East Hill neighborhood have been battling the city, Verizon, and the Federal Communications Commission to stop it. They didn't do a proper historic review, putting the wireless infrastructure right next to historic homes. Then neighbors think it's inappropriate. With the city's hands tied to a state law that prevents governments from regulating communication services, Heron, along with, which is one of the neighbors, along with other neighbors, sent a petition to the FCC. And the FCC has granted a hearing pleading schedule, which means it'll review the petition. Now, because of this, construction of the site can't continue until the matter is resolved. But cell phone video from one of the neighbors showed a guy on the pole working on the pole. And when the neighbor asked, who do you work for? He wouldn't respond. He climbed down off the pole, got in his truck, and drove off. Verizon said he doesn't work for us. So how do you do that? How do you deal with that? But they have every right to contest the 5G in their neighborhood. Like, you don't need to put it in their front yard. You don't. But there's the city can't do anything about it. Oh, they can put it wherever they want to. I don't agree with that. Hear this. Hillary needs to be dewormed. Just saying. Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, just announced they're still on track. They're still on track to reopen the 3 Mile Bridge the week of May 31st. On Friday, Senator Doug Broxton took a tour of the construction underway at the 3 Mile Bridge. Broxton says, based on the progress he saw, he's confident that the bridge will reopen soon with at least 2 lanes of traffic. Hold on. Hold on. Gulf Breeze residents are skeptical. Bridge gossip purportedly gleaned from in-the-know Skanska employees pushes the reopening date to 2022, with unofficial sources claiming the first-hand knowledge of even more damage than is being admitted that must be dealt with. 2022 and more damage. That's the scuttle. The scuttle from Skanska. Holy smokes, people. Look, and I want to throw this out. They've got they expanded the ramp, exit ramp. And also, they've got the temporary light up. It should be effective by 10 a.m. this morning. Now, let me ask you a question. And I asked this last week. If you're expanding the exit ramp and you're putting up a temporary light, does that sound like they are just expecting 2 months? It doesn't sound like that to me. Kim said, I said Christmas before the bridge opening. Yeah, I said 2022 at least. Oh, people. They are not giving you all the information. All you need is a brain. All you need is a brain and go, you know what? That doesn't sound right. Question. They always say trust but verify. You can't trust Skanska. You can't trust anything Skanska says. So I find it interesting that they are now saying, oh, we're still on track for May. But they've put up a temporary light. They've expanded the exit ramp. No. They know this is going to be a much longer deal. The saga continues. For the light, it's going to be flashing until about 10 a.m. this morning. Please use caution. Oh, last week, Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran announced that there was a possibility that state testing scores could be waived due to the unprecedented school year students have experienced. The testing scores, we're going to do the tests, but we'll probably waive them. However, with FSA testing set to begin today, there's still a lot of uncertainty about how much weight the scores will hold. Whether students chose to learn in person through e-learning or a mix of both, the school year has been challenging and unprecedented. Because of this, many teachers and parents alike are concerned about what this could mean for testing scores. During a typical year, scores would be a determining fact for advancement, graduation rates, teacher salaries, school funding, and more. During a news conference last week, Corcoran stated the U.S. Department of Education is allowing states to request a waiver that would do away with the accountability requirements of standardized testing. They already know that test scores are going to be low. But at a press conference Wednesday, the Education Commissioner stressed once again why scores are important. So we know the scores are going to be low. So we're just going to waive that because we don't want to affect graduation rates and teacher salaries, and it's a do-over. It's a do-over. Testing is racist. Well, testing shows that they have failed. Not the students, the school system. And when they know that they're going to have crazy low scores, the school system knows, we screwed up. That's what it's going to show. Not that the students are dumb, but that the school system is stupid. And they don't want to have it because it affects graduation rates and teacher salaries. And you heard the list. What all was on that list? Advancement, graduation rates, teacher salaries, school funding, and more. And when you have such scores because you're incapable of doing e-learning, we're just going to waive those things. It never happened. But it did happen. And you, public school system, did poorly. You failed the students. You did not do the right thing. And now you want to make it go away. It never happened. Pay no attention. These are not the test scores you're looking for. And that's the problem. Can you do that? Can you do that with anything else? Well, I don't. We'll just let that one go. I had a I'm overdrawn on my account because I didn't balance my checkbook. We're just going to waive that one. That didn't happen. That month didn't happen. No, that marriage didn't happen. We'll just waive that one. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that with everything else. Sharon says, I believe we have one of the best school systems around. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Because they're not doing right by the students. They're not doing right by the students. Students teachers, what is it? Oh, they don't want a full summer school program. Well, no. Trophy kind of education. Well, you're right. Participation. I don't know how much participation was going on, but they're not doing right by the students. Because if they take these standardized tests and they flunk them, what does that say about the school system? It's not one of the best school systems around if they are passing kids or waiving stinky test scores because they didn't do their job. And that's what it comes down to. 850-771-0049. We'll just let it go away. Governor Ron DeSantis regrets locking down the state during the pandemic for even one day. That's according to Rep. Matt Gaetz, who's got some other problems. Gaetz told Politico's Michael Cruz, the Florida governor, expressed one regret in retrospect, and that's embracing lockdown measures, even if they were brief and temporary. He told me that the biggest regret of governor is that we ever locked down even for one day. DeSantis issued a 1-month stay-at-home order nearly 1 year ago, but he did not renew it, nor did he implement a statewide mask mandate. This drew ire from his critics, primarily the establishment media, throughout the year. We will never do any of these lockdowns again. I hear people say they'll shut down country, and honestly, I cringe, DeSantis said during an August 31st press briefing in Florida. And I'm glad that he understands that. Hey, look, let me tell you what I like about DeSantis. There's a lot of things I like about it, but he is so measured in what he says. He doesn't, and there's no knee jerk. He just thinks about it, and what he says is pretty gold. I like him. Matt Gaetz, communication director Luke Ball, has resigned. That's according to a report from The Hill on Friday morning. We got some issues. We got some problems, my friends. It comes after a report from New York Times saying the U.S. Justice Department is investigating whether Gaetz recruited women online for sex and gave them cash or other items in exchange. The latest allegations are in addition to ones earlier in the week claiming Gaetz is involved in a federal sex trafficking investigation. As Matt Gaetz' political future hangs in the balance amid a federal investigation, outspoken supporters for the congressman on the Hill have remained few and far between. Gaetz says he will not resign amid the allegations. He insists he's innocent and says the growing list of accusations about him are tied to an attempt to extort millions from his family. Most of Gaetz' GOP colleagues have remained silent on the matter, while others are distancing themselves. Kevin McCarthy said that, well, if it's true, he's got to go. The office of Congressman David Valadio's Republican in California, announced Friday that all his campaign contribution from Gaetz will be donated to an organization that supports victims of domestic abuse. Some of his folks here in Northwest Florida are supporting him. Donna says, poor Matt, shame on them for messing with him. I'm hearing disturbing news. So don't be quick to bash his, the folks that are messing with him. Just saying. I want to see everything come out. I think there is. I'm sorry, there may be. And we'll just wait. We will wait. But here's the other part of it, too. You've got Cuomo. Look, I don't want this to sound. Oh my gosh, I want to be careful. So they're bashing Gates, but he did not force himself on women that were not interested, whether it was for money or not. Now, Cuomo is nasty. He's nasty. If he's guilty, he's got to go. You're exactly right. Cuomo should be gone. Cuomo should be in jail. If it's an attack on him, conveniently launched after he disagrees with narrative. Well, maybe. But you've got to go to the fact that he might have paid for sex. He's a single guy. He's a single guy. But I don't know. But is that worse? Is that worse than Andrew Cuomo? You got to ask that. Cuomo's protected because he's on the left. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So we'll see. We will see. I hope it's not true, but I'm hearing things to the contrary. A possible military explosive training device was discovered Sunday on the shore of a Florida beach, according to authorities. It looks like that. And that'd be interesting on the beach, wouldn't it? Deputy discovered a device believed to be a sea mine at a beach in Lauderdale by the Sea, about 30 miles north of Miami. The bomb squad and U.S. Air Force were called out of an abundance of caution. They determined it was a possible military explosive device, but it was safe and they removed it, and just weird. So I understand. I mean, he's a handsome guy, right? Gets power. He's a well-known figure. So but some people get a thrill out of that, Sharon. Some people get a thrill out of that. But I'm just Hernando County deputies arrested Trey Cornwell. Here's a picture of Trey Cornwell. You will love this picture. Here's Trey Cornwell. Yes, people, that's a lightning bolt tattoo on his face. Yeah. According to deputies, Cornwell jumped in the ambulance shortly before 12:30 p.m. He stole an ambulance. Deputies say he drove the ambulance to an area where it got stuck in the mud and sand as it approached a body of water. Witnesses told deputies that Cornwell fled to a nearby shopping plaza where he was later arrested. Cornwell's been charged with grand theft auto. Well, how would you? What does he look like? Well, Spicoli with a lightning bolt on his face. That's it. Yeah. Stephanie says Matt's engaged is a smear campaign created by the left. He's feisty and for the yeah. I get it. When you're feisty like that, you're gonna draw some people. But look, in a lot of these things, there's kind of a smidge of truth, so you got to kind of watch for those things. But yeah, what does he look like? He's got a lightning bolt on his face and a dirty neck. Look at his neck. Wash your neck, Mama used to say. He looks happy with himself. I think he's stoned. But look at his neck. His neck is filthy. Boy. Engaged for how long? Yeah, he's not been engaged very long, Mary. He's not been engaged very long at all. You misspelled something in there, Elizabeth. Matt Gaetz, yeah, we do believe in that now, but so we just got to see. So do you What do you think about if he is guilty? Should he be removed? When and then again, excuse me, when the Democrats don't play by the same rules. Yeah, 2 months maybe for him being engaged. All right. Okay, what else is going on? Get rid of that one. An unopened copy of Nintendo Super Mario Brothers sold at an auction. It's a video game. Super Nintendo, or the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was bought in 1986 and then forgotten about in a desk drawer. It sold at auction for $660,000. The auction house said the video game was bought as a Christmas gift, but ended up being placed in a desk drawer where it remains sealed in plastic and with its hang tag intact. Since the production window for this copy and others like it was so short, finding another copy from the same production run in a similar condition would be akin to looking for a single drop of water in an ocean. Heritage said it's the first or the finest copy known to have been professionally graded for auction. Its selling price far exceeded the $114,000 that another unopened copy that was produced in 1987 fetched in the Heritage auction last summer. It's a video game. Not long ago, I think maybe a matter of time before that's over. His fiance comes from a fairly prominent family. Maybe they may cut bait and run. We'll see. She's a pretty girl, very pretty girl. All right. What else is happening? Media's looking for a twofer. Hammer guy, they despise and get possibly. But the whole thing with Cuomo and these women is to take your eye off the fact that he murdered 15,000 people. That's what all this women thing. He is guilty of the women. He is guilty of womanizing. They've known that for years. But this whole thing about these women coming out at this point is to take the focus off of the fact that he's murdered 15,000 people. That's what that's about. Don't ever lose track of that. A disturbing video has gone viral showing a car being driven into a group of individuals standing outside of a Taco Bell. I'm going to play this video for you. This is crazy. So what's happened here is someone didn't like their order or their experience at Taco Bell. And here's what happened. Oops. Let's just check it out. There it goes. Look out. Boom, boom, boom. Holy smokes. Injured a bunch of people and crashed in front of the Taco Bell, then took off. They found the car and the individual at a house close by. People are out of their minds. People are out of their minds. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and just right into that's the drive-through right there. Sharon says, I agree with you on the Cuomo thing, but I think that proof about Matt Gaetz where they hang him. I believe that there may be some. All of it, I don't know. Let's see, we did that one. Another drive-through. A drive-through order took a bad turn on Tuesday when a woman allegedly opened fire into the window of a Burger King in Memphis, Tennessee. Let me find her picture. Here she is inside the drive-through window. You can see the gun. People. Memphis Police Department said it started when a woman got angry about how long she was waiting for her food at Burger King. The woman was reportedly in the drive-thru line when she exited her car, approached the window, then began arguing with an employee. Memphis police detailed the events in a Facebook post on Friday. Video surveillance shows the suspect retrieve a black handgun from the vehicle, extend her upper body through the drive-thru window, and fire several shots at the Burger King workers. The workers fled from the gunfire through the rear door of the business. Nobody was harmed. The suspect was accompanied by a male who was the driver of the gray sedan. They got away. Taco Bell and Burger King, fast food in general, is not good for you, evidently. Oh, yeah, there will be. Yep, there will be. Burger King. Now, well, I like Burger King. I do. Angie doesn't care for it. It's okay for her, but I like it. I don't get it very often. 850-771-0049. The U.S. Census Bureau reported in late March that 11.1% of K through 12 students in the nation are now homeschooling. It's a significant jump from 5.4% when school closures went into effect in spring of 2020, and from the 3.3% of families who homeschooled prior to the coronavirus pandemic. The global COVID-19 pandemic has sparked a new interest in homeschooling, and the appeal of alternative school arrangements has suddenly exploded. That's according to Casey Eggleston and J.C. Fields for the Census Bureau, which gathered data for an experimental household pulse survey that measured the social and economic impacts during the coronavirus pandemic. Survey shows homeschooling is notably higher than the national benchmarks and offers a glimpse of changes in homeschooling patterns during the pandemic, explaining that while 5.4% of Americans homeschool when school closures went into effect in the spring of 2020, by fall, 11.1% of households with school-age children reported homeschooling. Now, here's the thing. This is not virtual schooling. This is homeschooling. So it's not kids watching the public school online. This is parents detaching from the public school and homeschooling. 11.1%. That, my friends, is a lot. Besides drugs, what else would possess a person to crash into a Taco Bell over a messed up drive-thru? I say all this could be traced back to the destruction of the family unit. Whoa! That took a wild turn. It has to do with people being self-absorbed. It's about me. Can I go on a little side note on this? I have of late been felt taken advantage of by business. I feel taken advantage of by hospitals. I feel taken advantage of by cell phone companies. And it's so frustrating. Just deal straight with me. They can take advantage of you, but you can't take advantage of them. And that's problematic. And I think, I don't know the situation. All I know is the drive-thru order was messed up. Or they felt it was messed up. And nobody wanted to make it right. And people get pushed. And it has to do with that kind of sense of, I'm going to, and some people have a short fuse. We'll see. What else is happening? So there's that. A coronavirus update. A Louisiana man was arrested at Disney Springs after refusing to have his temperature taken. The Orange County Sheriff's Office released body camera video showing the February 13th incident. As you can see, deputies confronted the 47-year-old Kelly Sills outside the Boathouse restaurant and asked him to leave the site. Here's that video. Here you go. Whoops, wrong one. I lost it. I'll get rid of that. Here we go. Now we get the right one. Check this out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go for the day.
All right, sir.
Go for the day.
So at this time, sir,
you're being asked to leave the premises by Chris, who is a security manager at Disney Springs.
For what reason?
Listen to me, sir. Sir,
Sir, it's private property.
they are asking you to leave. We are going to escort you out now, sir. You are officially being trespassed.
Okay, so where are you?
Are you refusing to leave, or are you going?
Why? Sir, last that you're going to do something, and we will remove you from the property.
So they're arguing with this guy about not getting his temperature taken, and now he's officially trespassed, and they're asking him to leave.
$1,000 to come here.
2, start walking, sir.
I spent $15,000 to come here, and he just doesn't want to get his temperature taken. I get it. He doesn't want to get his temperature taken. Now, here's the rest of it.
You're telling me I spent $15,000?
Put your hands behind your back, sir. You refuse to leave after being told to do so.
Guys, please.
Get your hands off.
And they handcuff him.
Back up.
He's not listening. All you have to do is
The wife is pleading with them. They handcuff the man and haul him away. Now, I want you to go back to last summer, and even in going on right now in Portland and certain areas, these people that riot and burn down and throw Molotov cocktails at vehicles, and they didn't arrest them, but they arrested this guy. They arrested this guy because he wouldn't get his temperature taken. He's wearing a mask. He was wearing a mask, but he refused to get his temperature taken, and they arrested him. Interesting, yes? Hold on. There's more. Florida Department of Health says there's a dramatic drop in many areas in the number of people who want to get vaccinated against COVID-19. In Polk County, about 5,000 people a week were signing up for the shot. Now it's closer to 3,000. That's shocking enough by itself, but even more stunning when you consider that the governor has continually dropped the age requirement to qualify. Beginning Monday, anyone 16 and older will be eligible to be vaccinated. That's today. One reason for fewer people stepping forward to roll up their sleeve may be so-called vaccine hesitancy. Bobby Rex of Waimama, like a number of his friends, said he doesn't want to take what he considers a risk at this point. It is being tested on people right now as I see it. I know several health professionals that don't want to take it. They're going to wait a year or two to see what happens, to see what side effects it may have. And I get it. You don't know what it does to your system. You don't know if it's going to cause cancer. You don't know what it's going to happen. Oh, it's safe. It's really safe. But people are the people wanting the vaccine is dropping dramatically. People who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 can travel freely in the United States. Huh. Fancy that. We live in a free country, right? So if you've got the COVID vaccine, you can travel freely, as long as you remain masked on planes, buses, and trains. That's from the CDC on Friday. It's unclear how much impact the new guidance will have. People are already traveling and making decisions on their own. How dare they do that? American Airlines reported Monday that the company's bookings have jumped 90% of what they had before the pandemic. The new guidance means that fully vaccinated grandparents can fly to visit their healthy grandkids without getting a COVID test or self-quarantining, provided they follow the other recommended prevention measures. You're free to travel if you get the COVID vaccine. Really? I live in a free country. Canadian health officials have issued a warning about face masks that contain graphene or biographene, urging a recall by distributors, according to reports. Health Canada said graphene is a novel nanomaterial that's reported to have antiviral and antibacterial properties. However, the advisory issued Friday warns that there's a potential that wearers could inhale graphene particles from some masks. But they haven't told you what masks have graphene in them. So they are doing a warning about masks. And these masks were handed out by medical professionals. Wow. Kim says you can get your temp taken on the wrist instead of having temp gun pointed at your forehead. He just didn't want to take it. You can also get your temp taken rectally. It's actually more accurate. Tyler says the younger you are, the longer you have to deal with the side effects. We're free. I don't think we are. You're free not to get the vax, but you're also then not allowed to travel freely. So, just saying. You just got to look at it that way. Jake Tapper declared Sunday on CNN's State of the Union that the success of the U.S. coronavirus vaccine rollout set in motion by former President Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed did not excuse his other derelictions of duty on his response to the pandemic. After explaining he received his vaccination, Tapper said, "Thank God for everyone involved at Pfizer, at Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and everyone affiliated with Operation Warp Speed, from the scientists to the officials that signed off on the funding, including, yes, former President Trump, but he's still a slime ball." He didn't say slime ball. I added that. Oh, my gosh, people. Dereliction of duty. Dereliction of duty. Dereliction of duty. All right. Jake Tapper is full of it. Yep. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp defended recent election reform at a press conference on Saturday following Major League Baseball's decision to move the 2021 All-Star Game and Draft out of Georgia in protest. In front of members of the Georgia General Assembly that backed the bill, Kemp called MLB's decision ridiculous and said the Election Integrity Act of 2021 ensures the integrity of the ballot box. Secure, accessible, fair elections are worth the threats, Kemp said. They are worth the boycott, as well as the lawsuits. The new law faces multiple lawsuits and backlash that's placed Georgia in the political spotlight. Kemp has publicly maintained some of Georgia's election policies under the new law are less restrictive than other states. So you got a couple things here. New York. Schumer said the MLB can come to New York and have the All-Star Game there. But of course, New York has stricter election laws than Georgia. The only thing that New York doesn't do is require voter ID. The other thing too is, I'll get to this checkpoint thing because that's interesting. I'll get to that in a second. The other part too is Major League Baseball. They require ID for you to pick up your tickets. So they're against voter ID. They're against voter ID. They say that it unfairly targets black and brown communities. So they're pulling the MLB All-Star Game out of Atlanta. Well, I will tell you this, that you're costing them a bunch of money. 37 million economic impact and 190 million for the region. Now, that affects black and brown people who have jobs, whose companies depend on the game being there. So does voter ID affect more people, or does pulling the All-Star Game out of Georgia affect more people? I'm done. I am so done with Major League Sports. Done watching. I'm not watching NFL. I'm not watching MLB. I never did watch basketball. I'm done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. Now, Jeff, back to your question. How long before states put up checkpoints to check vaccine paperwork? Not long. It won't be long. Can any of these corporations read? Well, they cannot. I'm done. I am done. Got to show ID anywhere to get anywhere near the Capitol. Yeah. Look, you try this. You get pulled over by the police and they say, "Let me see your driver's license." Well, I'm not showing I don't have to show my ID. You're discriminating. You're a racist for making me show ID. Whoa. Try that. Yep. Absolutely. Georgia now has become a swing state, and the Dems want to push it more to the left by any means possible. And they'll destroy it. And they will destroy it. 850-771-0049. Oh, people. Just, all this garbage. Raphael Warnock. Speaking of Georgia. Raphael Warnock, the good reverend, who faces criticism over a tweet posted Easter Sunday saying the meaning of the holiday is more transcendent than the actual resurrection of Jesus. The tweet was deleted, but was picked up by websites like Mediaite and Daily Wire. The meaning of Easter is more transcendent than the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Whether you're a Christian or not, through a commitment to helping others, we are able to save ourselves. Well, let me say this, good reverend. You don't understand salvation because you can't save yourselves. We can't save ourselves. Listen to the statement again. The meaning of Easter is more transcendent than the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Whether you're a Christian or not, through a commitment to helping others, we are able to save ourselves. Social salvation. You don't need Jesus for salvation. We're able to save ourselves through a commitment to helping others. Bogus, you don't understand salvation. Bye. That right there tells you you don't need to believe anything he says. You're exactly right, Donna. He is a twit. If we could save ourselves, Jesus would have died a horrible death for nothing. Correct. Yeah. He did it because we can't save ourselves. The deranged driver who fatally rammed a police officer before being gunned down outside the U.S. Capitol on Friday may have suffered repeated head trauma during years of playing football, his family said Saturday. It's football's fault. Noah Green, 25, was not a terrorist by any means. Green had been studying for his master's degree in business administration, but he also suffered from depression and potential mental illness. His troubles may have stemmed from head trauma that accumulated over years of playing football, including as a defensive back at Christopher Newport University in Virginia. Green had a history of troubling behavior and was quickly unraveling the night before the attack, his brother said. Now, he was Muslim. The guy that rammed the Capitol and killed a Capitol police officer was Muslim. I want to point out, when the news first broke, they said it was a white male. He was not white male. He was not white male. He did suffer from religious choice. He said that Farrakhan was Jesus. Now, why is it that that the Trump supporters were domestic terrorists? But this guy was a victim. This guy that attacked the Capitol was a victim. If he was white, he's a Trump supporter. But because he's not white, he's a victim and he's played football and it damaged his brain. No, he's not a religious fanatic. Not that. Not at all. Can't be that. He must be a victim. Yeah. Think about that. But if the report first came out, he was white. A white male attacked the Capitol. Nope. Not at all. I also want to point out that this guy actually killed a Capitol Hill police officer. Even though Capitol Hill police officer died on January 6th, he wasn't killed. He died. He wasn't killed. It does have to fit the agenda. Absolutely. 850-771-0049. Oh, people. What else? Vice President Kamala Harris, who was tasked last month with leading efforts to address migration to the southern border, where the nation is facing what's been described as humanitarian crisis amid a surge in migrants coming to the U.S. Her assigned efforts on immigration, which include overseeing diplomatic efforts with the Northern Triangle countries, fit into a broader trend of administration delegating substantial foreign policy responsibilities to her. For example, she's held calls with major world leaders like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu. Since the beginning of the administration and week after Biden's announcement, Harris has fielded questions from the media, but has yet to hold a formal news conference. Meanwhile, the border crisis captivated the nation's attention and raised a series of concerns about national security and the stability of the U.S. immigration system as a whole, and yet she's not talking and holding a press conference. But don't worry, Biden has held one, and guess what? We still don't. It's April. It's April. It's April. We haven't had a State of the Union. And they're not even talking about that. Nothing's being said about a State of the Union. We're just ignoring that fact. They can't answer questions. Biden is incapable, and Kamala Harris is unwilling. Oh, listen to this. And this is stuff you already knew, okay? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has been named one of the least effective members of Congress. That's according to a study from a nonpartisan group. According to the New York Post, Ocasio-Cortez, the youngest member of Congress, was among the least effective members of last Congress. She introduced a total of 21 bills that the Senate defined as substantive, but that is where the story ends. Her legislation received no action in committees, no floor votes, none of ever became law. That's according to the Center, which takes its data from Congress.gov. Alan Wiseman, a Vanderbilt University political scientist and co-director of the Center for Effective Lawmaking, told the Post, she introduced a lot of bills, but she was not successful in having them receive any sort of action in committee or beyond committee. And if they can't get it through the committee, they can't get past the House. She is a moron. She is a mental pygmy. Look at that face. Like a donkey. Like a donkey. Oh. And Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg said Sunday on ABC's This Week that President Biden wanted Congress to act on his $2 trillion infrastructure package by Memorial Day. Buttigieg said, I think we're going to find a really strong, good deal space on this because, again, most Americans want to get it done. Really? And where do you get that idea from, Buttigieg? Where do you get the idea that most Americans want an infrastructure, $2 trillion infrastructure, that only a portion of it goes to infrastructure? Where did you get the idea that most Americans are for that? Because I'm not seeing that. There's no data for that. He continued, the American people like this plan. Even more, when you explain how we're going to pay for it, the reason's simple. The corporations, like we all know, have not been paying their fair share. Oh, there you go. They're paying zero on millions of dollars in profits. They're paying less than a firefighter or a school teacher, not just in percent terms, but in dollar terms. And that's wrong. We're going to reset the corporate tax rate to a rate that is, by the way, still lower than that's been for most of my lifetime. And has been a rate where American has been perfectly competitive for decades. And in doing that, create again, by some estimates, 19 million good-paying jobs, most of which don't require somebody to have a college degree. So we know, Buttigieg, that that's not true. If you raise the corporate tax rate, they go elsewhere. Trump brought a lot of those businesses back so that people had jobs, So you're not being forthcoming. You're not being true with the American people. We know that when you raise the corporate tax rate, jobs go away. You're not creating 19 million jobs. Where does that number come from? Where, by some estimates, 19 million good paying jobs. How does that happen? Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers. If that's true, let's talk about it. But it's not true. And we know, hey, most Americans want to get the $2 trillion thing done. Ford is moving to Mexico. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why? Because that brings 19 million jobs to America. People. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These people are going to cram this stuff down your throat. And they're going to bypass the filibuster. And you have no say. Increased government is the only way to create jobs from tax increase. You're going to need more IRS people. That's next. Remember, Obama increased all the IRS jobs, right, for the healthcare.gov, IRS people. That's what it was. They laid a bunch of those people off when Trump came in. Now they're going to hire them back. It is concerning, to say the least. You're going to see more of this. Buttigieg has no footing in reality. Any increased taxes are passed to consumer. Increased taxes have always caused economic stagnation. Tax cuts did increase the economy. Absolutely. No, but they can't. But when you do that, you give people power and not the government. And they've got to have power. Why do you think Trump was hated so much, even by Republicans on Capitol Hill? Because he gave power back to the people, and that's not what it's about. It's about the government maintaining complete and utter control. All right, tonight at 5:30, they're having the Milton City Council is meeting, and going to talk about the appointing the vacant city council seats. And George Jordan is going to be speaking. He's on the agenda as an invited guest, which means unlimited time. Citizens like you, 3 minutes. He's getting unlimited time. Hold on, kids. It's going to be interesting. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some video from that and your calls and texts and more. All right. God bless you. Have a fantastic Monday. And it's going to be pretty. Absolutely gorgeous today. Get out and enjoy a little.